Inside of the chat. Everybody with me? Let's make sure we're live. Good day, good day, good day, good day, and welcome to our live session. First and foremost, I pray that I'm meeting you well. If I haven't connected with you already in this new year, first and foremost, a happy new year to you. Now, wherever you're joining me from, if you can hear me, if you can see me, if you are tuned in, if you are locked in, just write in the comments, I am. Write a little hi in the comments so I know that you are with me and that you are ready, steady, ready to go and ready to rock and roll. Now, in this session today, I'm going to be sharing with you why so many people are struggling to find great property deals in places like RightMove. Specifically, we're going to focus on RightMove today rather than any other platform. And if this is of value to you guys and you guys want us to jump into some other platforms, if this is of value to you and you desire us to jump into some other platforms, then what I want you to do by the time we get to the end of this video is literally let me know, hey, Samuel, you know what? I want to actually look at other platforms like Zoopla or Property Move or any other platforms that are out there. Okay, so wherever you're joining me from, if you are joining me on TikTok, if you're joining me on Instagram, if you're joining me on Facebook, if you're joining me on YouTube, wherever the platform is, let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments below. Now, with that being said, we're gonna jump straight into it. Now, I want to start by asking a question because I think this question is going to be the fastest way to reveal to you the exact reason why so many people struggle to find deals on all of these different platforms. All right. Let's go. Ruth says, just stopping by for a bit to say hello. Ruth, welcome to the live. Glad to have you inside of the live. Now, for those of you who are attempting to invest in property, for those of you who have said to yourself, you know what, I want to invest in property, for those of you who have been thinking at some point in the future, or maybe even in the present, property is going to be a piece of your prosperity and your wealth puzzle, then this video is literally for you, because in this video, I'm going to be breaking down today for you guys exactly why most people struggle to find great property deals using mainstream platforms such as RightMove. Now, if you're based in the UK, like many of you guys are, then RightMove is literally the biggest property portal that you may be familiar with. Now, we just had Ruth say hi in the chat. I know Ruth is not in the UK. She's in Canada. Ruth, remind me if it's Canada or the US of A. But again, if you're in Canada, if you're in the US of A, then you have other platforms. Like in the US, your biggest platform is the MLS, right? And whether it's the MLS, whether it's RightMove, whether it's Zoopla, whether it's some other platform, this video right here, this session right here is going to reveal to you, is going to show you exactly why those platforms do not cater to people like you and I who want to invest and generate revenue at the best rate. Okay, so I'm going to encourage you to fasten your seatbelt. I'm going to encourage you to hit the like button. Okay, Ruth says she's in the US of A. Okay, also awesome. So Ruth, you know about the MLS then in that case, right? And the MLS is very similar to RightMove. They're very, very similar platforms. And we're going to be breaking down RightMove as our case study today. But again, like I said, for those of you who are tuned in, if you get value from this video and you'd like us from this session to do a deep dive into some of these other platforms like Zoopla, like the MLS, like platforms in Canada or any other place, then all I want you guys to do is let me know in the comments and we'll be happy to do that. Now, let's jump in, okay? There is a number of reasons why people struggle to find great deals on many of these platforms. And most people are unaware of these reasons because they're unaware of the intricate elements of the platforms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by sharing something with you, which is, in my opinion, the fastest way to reveal to you exactly why people struggle to find great property assets, great property opportunities on platforms like RightMove, okay? Now, if this is of interest to you, just write me in the chat so I know we're starting off with something of divine value, something of deep interest, so that you can use this in this brand new year for you to move further, faster in your future with your finances. Because what happens many a time is we enter the new year, we know we want some new year cheer, we know we want to do some new stuff, some great stuff, some new ways, some great ways, but we don't know how to play in terms of the new game. Now, Albert Einstein used to say you cannot solve any problem at the same level of intelligence that the problem was created. And based on that, Samuel I Can Win often says that you won't be able to elevate past the level of intelligence where the problem was created unless that level of intelligence is first hated. Until you get to a place where you actually hate, you actually detest the level of intelligence that got you to where you are going to be unable to proceed, to progress, to develop to the level of intelligence you need in order to succeed. Now, if you understand what I'm talking about, just write I do in the chat because we're going to go right in. Now, what I want you guys to do for me, something very simple, right? I've literally just opened up a website that probably every single person who's looking at this right now has experienced, seen, spent some time, maybe spent some of their money, okay, on these websites. Now, what I want you to do on this website, or whilst I've got this website up, I just want you to tell me in the chat, what is this website, okay? What is this website that I'm showing you? And for those of you on TikTok, I apologize. We don't yet have a full feed for you guys to be able to see what I'm showing on the screen, right? But we're gonna sort it out for my TikTok audience at some point, shape or form. And if you're tuning into this on TikTok and you're saying, listen, we need to see it all. If that's you, just write in the comments me, so I know that our TikTok family wanna be on the 100% in, right? And I'm looking forward, because it's not gonna be long, but I'm looking forward to when we fully have all of our platforms engaging in the same way, right? Through the same portals, all right? So I see 100, wow, multiple people are joining. I'm just seeing joined on the TikTok feed. So TikTok is literally blowing up right now. Okay, now, with that being said, you guys who are tuned in, whatever platform you're on, let me know, this website I've just put up, what is this website, okay? I know I've slightly taken off the title of the website from the page, all right? But you guys let me know, what is this website, okay? If I make it smaller, let me see if that will help you guys. Okay, I think it does. Okay, no, it doesn't because we cut it off in the main page. All right, cool. But what is this website, guys? What is this website? Okay, now, those of you who are looking at this website, from looking at this website with all of this equipment and all of these chairs and all of these books and all of these things on this website, you're going to say to me, Samuel, that is Amazon. That's the Amazon website. And I'm going to say to you, you are 100% unequivocally correct. This is the Amazon website. Now, why is it interesting and why is Samuel showing you the Amazon website to start this session in revealing to you, in showing you, in sharing with you why most people struggle to find great property deals on platforms like RightMove? And I'm gonna ask you a question to reveal to you why. Okay. So for those of you on TikTok, now you know we're on the Amazon website. Now, straight after Amazon, I'm gonna go to another website. This is the website I was talking about. This is the rightmove.co.uk website. Okay, now here's the question I'm gonna ask you so we can start to unpack why so many people struggle to find great property deals on platforms like RightMove, okay? So here's the question. The question is, what similarities do you see between this website right here, okay? This is the literal homepage of RightMove, and this website right here. This is my unique curated homepage for me on Amazon, okay? What similarities do you see? Let me know inside of the chat, right? What similarities do you see? And guys, I'm waiting for you guys to let me know, okay? So let me know what similarities that you see, okay? Because this is going to be helpful for you to have an understanding of why people struggle to find property deals, okay? I see the likes coming through on TikTok. Welcome, 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 welcome to all my TikTok family. If you are in TikTok, feel free to throw a comment, guys. Don't just say join, join, join. Like, let someone say, hey, Samuel, good day. Glad to be in the live. Glad to be back if it's someone who's back. All right. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Let me know, are you in the UK, in the US of A, in Australasia, or in Asia? Let me know where you're tuning in from. All right. So let's see. All right. So the TikTok family are blowing up the chat, which is great. That's fantastic. Okay. Right. That's cool. That's happening there. And maybe I should move that over here so I can see that. All right, guys. I just want to make sure I can see everything as you guys are coming through. All right. And like I said, TikTok guys, they are blowing up the chat. All right. So great to have my TikTok family in the house. And those of you in the TikTok family, if you get any value throughout this live, if there's anything that really stands out to you, all I want you to do is share this live with other people on TikTok so they can get some of this value as well. All right. So let's see how this goes. Let's go back. Now, for those of you who are joining me on, I don't want to call them bigger platforms. I don't know. Are they bigger platforms? On the other platforms. Okay. If you're joining me on YouTube, if you're joining me on Instagram, if you're joining me on Facebook, okay, let me know in the chat what similarities you see between these two platforms, okay? Between the platform of Amazon, which was the first site I showed you, and now the platform of RightMove. What are the similarities that you can see, if any? Okay, if any. If there are any similarities you can see, let me know what they are, right? Because I'm gonna do, I guess, an unraveling, a revealing, maybe you might want to call it a semi-unboxing right now, of the similarities to help you understand why this works, to give you a clear notion of why so many people think, oh, I'm going to use RightMove and find my next great property deal, and then find out that they can't find any property deals, let alone great property deals on platforms like RightMove. And they may not know why that is the case, but we're going to start deep diving into why that is the case right now. Okay, so let's jump into it. So here's the similarities, because the similarities are going to reveal exactly what's going on. Okay, the similarities are going to reveal exactly what's going on. All right, there we go. That's what we need. That's a nice setup there. All right, great stuff. And guys, please bear with us because we're just working through the tech and making sure the tech is all beautiful. Right now, here's the similarities between these two sites that I just showed you that I want you to understand. And the answer that I'm going to reveal to you in terms of the similarities between these sites, the site of RightMove and the site of Amazon, is going to help you understand why people can't find great property deals on platforms like RightMove. Okay, so this is Amazon and this is RightMove. Okay, so let's start unpacking it. If you come to the RightMove website, the first thing you see front and center, right, being showed to you, okay, who is this in the house? We have, I'm seeing the comment, but I can't read it. It's JD. JD says, hey, Samuel, just helping. Oh, I love that. Hey, Samuel, just helping boost your page. and she is throwing in the likes. Thank you ever so much. I hope I'm saying this correct. It's JD. If it's JD, just say yes, yes, so I know it's you. I believe it says JD, but the writing for the TikTok chat is so small. The writing for the TikTok chat is so small right now, but we're going to get that bigger, all right, guys? We're working on it. We're working on a whole bunch of stuff to make sure our TikTok feed is actually connecting so we get everything we need, all right? We desire TikTok to be in the house with us as well, all right? And I need to learn how to do something. My team said to me, okay, JD, it is you. JD says, yes, yes, I see the yes come through, all right? My team have said to me, if I can get my TikTok chat on a pop-out page, then I can get my TikTok chat to be with the rest of my chat, all right? Which I would love to do. And then I can actually bring my TikTok comments on screen as well. But right now, we're still figuring out how to do that. So if you are joining us on TikTok, guys, we love you. We want you to be a part of what we're doing. That's why we're streaming with you guys, even if we can't show you guys the screens and the websites and the doodles that I do on my tablet, all right? But we still want you guys here. So let's jump deeper, right? It's 2026. Let's add this value. Let's jump in. Right. So I just showed you guys the RightMove website. I just also showed you guys the Amazon website. Now, one of the things that's interesting to bear in mind is Amazon is probably the highest netting website in the world right now. Okay. So if you agree with that, if you believe that, if that makes sense to you, if you're someone who's thinking to yourself, yeah, that makes sense, Samuel, that Amazon is probably one of, if not the biggest netting revenue generating website in the world, just right, I do in the chat. So I know that you guys are with me before we go further into what we're saying. Now, one of the things I say often is that success leaves clues. I learned that from Jim Rohn a number of years ago, one of the business philosophers that I used to follow when I was a lot younger. I also saw it again echoed in the book, The Compound Effect, written by Darren Hardy, okay? And that term is success leaves clues. Now, if success leaves clues, what do most people do? They see someone more successful, all right? People that are wise, they see someone that's more successful and they follow them. Okay, they follow them. Why do they follow them? They follow them in order to produce the same success that the person who is more successful or who was first successful has. Okay, if this is making sense, someone just write in the chat makes sense, or just put a little letter U in the chat so I know you understand. Now, why is this so important? The reason this is so important is because this is going to reveal to you the similarities between the RightMove website, which I just shared with you guys, showed you guys, brought on the screen, and the Amazon website. Now, if Amazon, even though they don't sell homes, even though they don't sell cars, right? If Amazon has a website which generates and deals with more transactions, more financial transactions than any other website on this planet, okay? What other websites who want to be big and bodacious and bold will do is they will see what Amazon's doing and they will copy it. Okay, they will see what Amazon's doing and they will copy it. If anyone agrees with me, just write in the comments, I do, so I know you're following. Now, look at this. If you come to the RightMove website, first thing you see front and center is a search bar, a drop-down search. And it says here, first category, buy. And you have search, okay? And it says all of the locations where you can buy specifically like prompts. Okay, so they've got Bath, they've got NW3 or Leeds Station. Okay, so they're giving you 3 different ways that you can search through means of the RightMove portal. You can search via city, that's why they give you Bath. You can search via postal code. If you're in the US, that's zip code. Okay, that's why it says NW3 or Leeds Station. You can search via landmark. Okay, the likes are blowing up. JD says, JD followed the host, let's go. Jalil in the house, Jalil says, I do, let's go. So guys, if you understand that success leaves clues and you understand that Amazon is the website of choice, the most successful financial website on the internet right now, okay, you will understand that other bigger businesses than your business right now, other bigger businesses than the business you work for right now will be following the trend of Amazon, okay? Now, hopefully this is making logical sense, because if you get this foundation that I'm sharing with you, all of the rest of what I'm sharing around why people are struggling to find great property deals, if you're in the States, in platforms like the MLS, if you're in the UK, on the greatest, biggest, largest property platform like RightMove, it's all, the penny's gonna drop. And you're gonna be like, wow, so you're telling me, Samuel, I was wasting my time for those 8 or 9 that I was searching online and couldn't find what I was trying to find? And my answer is, in good old Jim Rohn fashion, of course, of course, Of course. Why do you think this is going to happen? I'm going to reveal it to you right now. Let's jump in. Let's look at Amazon now. We just looked at RightMove and we saw that the minute you come to RightMove, they've got 3 categories: buy, rent, and sold. And they've got a massive search, and then they've got the button search, okay? Those of you, you should be able to see my mouse. If you can see my mouse, just write I can in the chat so I know you guys can see the mouse so you can see where I'm pointing, right? And if you can't, we can just highlight bits, okay, like this, and then you know what I'm talking about. Now, that's the RightMove website. Now let's take this search onto the Amazon website. What do we see on the Amazon website? The exact same thing. The exact same thing. The framework is the same. Why? Because success leaves clues. And guys, someone needs to take on board what I'm sharing, even for your business. There's someone who's watching this who doesn't even have a property business, who's thinking, Samuel, you know what? You are literally changing my business brain right now. Yes, because if you understand success leaves clues, guess what happens? Everything changes for you. You stop attempting to do things as though you're the first person to ever do things. And you start realizing what Solomon said in the book of Ecclesiastes when he said, there's nothing new under the sun. Someone write in the chat the word sun. There's nothing new under the sun. So if there's nothing new under the sun, the way to win is the way people have won. If there's nothing new under the sun and you want to win, you just have to find someone who's already won. Oh, someone's going to catch this today. Let's go deeper. So this is Amazon. Let me show you about Amazon. Amazon has category. Okay, let's bring this back up so you guys can see it. Category, 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 category. These categories are very similar to what we just saw on the RightMove website with buy, rent, and sold. And then they have search. The main thing is search. They want you to search. They want you to engage with the site. Now, let's go to Amazon. What's the main thing on Amazon? The main thing on Amazon is the word search amazon.co.uk. Or if you're in the States, search amazon.com. Or if you're in Canada, search amazon.ca. If you're in France, search amazon.fr, etc., etc. Search. Search. Success leaves clues, ladies and gentlemen. And what Amazon want you to do, which is the most financially successful website on the internet right now, is to search. Come onto their site and search. So what RightMove wants you to do, which is the largest UK property portal right now, is come onto the platform and search. Now, if you guys understand what I'm saying so far, because everything I'm saying so far, I believe is basic. Like we're covering first grade, so we can go into secondary, further, and then higher, right? So we're about to step into secondary, but I need to know that you guys understand what I'm talking about. So if you guys are getting this, just write in the comments, I'm getting it, okay? So if you're getting it, let me know you're getting it, and then we're gonna go from primary to secondary, right? So Samuel, what's the primary lesson you're teaching me? The primary lesson I'm teaching you as to why people are struggling to find great property deals on platforms like RightMove, the primary lesson is because RightMove, as a successful business, is following / copying / modeling a way more successful business, okay? And the way more successful business, for example, in terms of their website, is Amazon, okay? So that's the primary lesson, okay? So what does that tell you about if you desire to succeed? If you desire to succeed, you can model a more successful business, okay? Now, this is me kind of slightly getting off topic because I just want you to understand how you can succeed. But I'm going to get right back onto topic right now as we transition from primary to secondary. So the primary lesson is the reason why many people are struggling to find property deals on platforms such as RightMove, such as the MLS, such as Zoopla, right? Such as these massive big platforms and portals is because these big platforms and portals are being modeled. They're modeling themselves after other platforms and portals. So it's not a fair game. Like you're coming on that platform thinking, oh, I'm going to find a deal. You're coming on that platform thinking, oh, I know what's real. But you don't know what's real. You don't even know what the platform's doing. The platform is trying to be something else. It's trying to duplicate something else. And you cannot dominate in a domain which is being duplicated. Okay? And I know that's not proper English, but, you know, we want to rhyme a little bit. Okay? I'm playing with you guys. All right. So you guys are getting this. That's the primary. Let's jump into the secondary. So Samuel, I see it now. Okay? You've shown me RightMove. You've showed me Amazon. And you've showed me that Amazon want to lead their site front and center with search. And I've seen equally that you've just shown me that RightMove wants to lead its site front and center with search. But Samuel, how does this stop me from finding great property deals? And I'm so glad you've asked, right? So now's the time for us to start unpacking this for you guys to start seeing how it works, right? Now, let's get super interactive, right? Somebody throw a postal code. If you're in the UK, throw a postal code. If you're not in the UK, but you know a UK postal code, throw a postal code in the chat. And I'm going to show you in 3 dimensions, maybe even 4, exactly what I'm talking about so you guys can see this. But before we get the postal code, I'm going to show you something, just something simple, right? Now, I'm going to give you the 3 principles why it's so difficult for normal people to find great property deals on platforms like RightMove. Okay, and here's the first principle. The first principle is because of a concept that I call whispers. Okay, now this concept I called whispers, I didn't make it up myself. Okay, I'm just going to be very transparent with you. I didn't make up the concept of whispers. And some of you, when I said whispers, you're already thinking in your head, whispers. Samuel, are you talking about Chinese whispers? And your answer is 100% yes. Okay, so here's the question: what happens with Chinese whispers? Well, with Chinese whispers, what happens is you say a message to someone and that person, quote unquote, simply put, dilutes that message to the next person. And then that person, quote unquote, dilutes that message to the next person. And that person, quote unquote, dilutes that message to the next person, and so forth and so forth. So by the time the message gets to the person who's supposed to receive the message, it's not even the same message. Okay, now Samuel, what has this got to do with me struggling to find deals on RightMove or on MLS or on all of these platforms? So glad you asked. Let's jump into it. Let's say this is you. Okay, let's say this is you. You're here on the journey, your property journey, your investment journey, your wealth journey, your financial freedom journey. Okay. And let's say between you, there's this website, okay? Let's call this website RightMove, all right? And Jalil, thank you for the postal code. We're going to use that in a moment, right? So let's say between you, there's this website. Let's say this website is RightMove for the sake of simplicity, right? So there's you, then there's RightMove, okay? Now, between you and RightMove, after you and RightMove, there is, let's say, an estate agent. Okay, let's say this estate agent's name is Tracy. Okay, so there's you, there's the site, let's call this RightMove, and then there's Tracy. Now who's Tracy? Tracy's the estate agent that represents that property, that put it up on RightMove. Okay, now Jalil's thrown a postal code in, so let's use that postal code so we can have a property to look at and talk about something for real, right? So the postal code Jalil's given us is E3 3RS. Okay, that's beautiful, right? E3 3RS. So we're gonna tap that in and hit search, okay? So, okay, we got no properties. Excuse me, was that on sold? Let's do this. Let's take that, right click, copy. Let's go back. Yeah, we was on sold. All right, so let's go to buy. We'll go to buy. We can go to buy. We can go to rent. This doesn't make a difference because it's the same. If you're looking for great deals to buy, if you're looking for great deals to rent, you're going to find the exact same situation happening every single time you look. Why? Because of this simple fact I'm breaking down. All right. So we've searched this postcode and we've got nothing coming up. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to increase the area in which we're searching. Okay. So the search radius, we'll put a 1/4 mile, see if anything comes up. If not, we'll go to 1/2 mile, okay? And again, these search criteria don't really matter. We're gonna work on all of these because I want you to see this concept. The concept is the key. If you get the concept, small keys open big doors, you can open the big doors, all right? So let's just go to this first one that isn't a premium listing, which is here. E13, E14's got some beautiful properties. It feels like, let me not even go into it. All right, let's go to this. This is a loft, Morris Road, London, E14. Okay, this is a loft apartment, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom for £1.1 million. Okay, in the E14, E13 area. Okay, which is kind of like Canary Wharf. It's the kind of Canary Wharf area, Bow, that kind of Tower Hamlets, you know, the most, one of what I find to be one of the most interesting locations in the whole of London. Okay, Samuel, why do you find the E13 area to be one of the E13, E14 area to be one of the most interesting areas in the whole of London? Because it is such a boiling pot of wealth and wealth inequality in one place. Okay, the whole of East London is literally that, and I grew up in East London, for those of you who don't know, so it's interesting. So let's go into this listing. All right, the bespoke agent is selling this. They're getting a little bit of, well, actually they're not even up right now, so this is all good. I was going to say they're getting a little bit of promo, but let's take them off. All right, so cool. So let's look at this. So we've got a property here. Okay, now why am I bringing this up? I want you to see something. Okay, this property, and we'll give them a little shameless plug. This property is being advertised by, if we look here in the corner, an agent. The agent is called, right here, the bespoke agent. Okay? You guys might not be able to see this properly. Let's see if we can get them. There you go. The bespoke agent of London. Okay? Who are literally getting some free promo right now as I share about this. Right? Now, why is this important? This is important because whoever's selling this house, you have no idea who they are. You don't know who they are. You're not meeting them. You're not connecting with them. You're not finding out who they are. Why? Because this is a property on a platform, on a portal. And the only person you are finding out about is the bespoke agent, who are actually quite good at marketing because they've literally put their name on the picture, which is the lead picture, or on every picture it looks like, for the listing. All right. So that's some sharp marketing there. So this is the bespoke agent, okay? Now, let's assume, let's make this up, right? To make this make sense. You are looking for a property to buy. You go on RightMove to look for a great property deal. You see the bespoke agent, and the specific agent is Tracy, okay? Now, Tracy engages with you, but from her engagement with you, she still has to go through some kind of channel. Let's say that's email. Let's say that's telephone. Okay. If you're old school like me, let's say that's fax. Okay. Tracy still has to go through some kind of some channel to communicate with the actual seller of this apartment, right? Let's say this is the apartment we're talking about. She still has to go through some kind of channel to start to engage with the person who's actually selling this 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1,600 square foot apartment in E14 for £1.1 million. She still has to go through a channel. Now, let's say the seller of this property is a person named Tina. Shout out to the Tinas in the house, okay? So let's say Tina's selling this house. Tina's the person actually selling her property, the 1 bedroom apartment that we've got here, okay? Now, what most people don't realize is here's the biggest and first reason why many people struggle to find great deals on major platforms such as RightMove. The first reason is because of this concept of whispers, Chinese whispers. You see, anytime you desire to make an offer, anytime you desire to inquire, anytime you desire to ask a question about this Morris Road, London E14 property, let me tell you what's going to happen. You are going to have to go through many members to get your message to the actual person who is the actual person you want to get your message through to. If someone understands what I'm talking about, just write in the comments, I do. You see, this is one of the first reasons why you struggle on platforms like this to find great deals, because you're not even talking to the decision maker. There are many members in between you and the decision maker. And those many members, let's start breaking this down, because I think this is going to be helpful, all right? So the first reason why I've shared with you guys is whispers, okay? And what I've said to you about the issue with the whispers is there are many, let's go, there are many members between you and between the actual deal. The actual decision maker. There's many members in between you. Now, Samuel, how did you discover this? Because Samuel, it just seems like you seem to just know this stuff. No, guys, look, I don't know this stuff because I'm a rocket scientist. I don't know this stuff because I'm a genius. I know this stuff because of certain predicaments and positions I've been in my life. So for example, when I first started my working career, I worked in sales. And one of the things they will tell you in sales is if you pick up a phone to make a sales call, the first thing you need to make sure is you're talking to a decision maker. Now, if you are attempting to find a great property deal and you are not even talking to a decision maker, between you and a decision maker is Tracy and RightMove and a telephone call, a fax message, an email, all before you even get to Tina. Guys, these things ought not be so. You can't find great property deals with so many members between you and a decision maker. If this is helping somebody, just write the word me in the chat. Let me see if this is valuable to you guys first, before we even go further, right? So we covered the foundation. The foundation was platforms like RightMove are doing the same thing. They are modeling successful other bigger platforms, such as Amazon. So they're set up and structured in a way to synonymize those bigger platforms. Now, why? Because if the bigger platform is having billions of pounds, trillions of pounds coming through that platform in order for people to sell or buy or to spend their money, to part with their cash, then platforms like RightMove, platforms like Zoopla, all of these other platforms want the same thing to happen. So what are they going to do? They're going to set themselves up in the same way. That was the foundation. Now, why do we need that foundation? Two reasons. One, the main reason for you to understand that the platform you're going on is not doing what you think it's doing. The second reason is for you to take a step back and realize, well, hold on a minute. If I want to succeed, why don't I do the same thing I see them do? Which is see and model success instead of try to make it up in my head. Okay? So hopefully this is helpful. Now, let's go deeper. I've asked, okay, let me say this again. If this is helping you, write the word me in the chat. So I know this is helpful. Okay? Now, whatever platform you're on, guys, I want you to make sure you've got your notepad, iPad, tablet, stylus, pen, paper, everything you need in order to succeed. Because you might need to take notes for where we're going, because we're getting deeper with this. So the first thing I wanted to share with you guys is this concept of whispers, okay? Because of the Chinese whispers concept that takes place on these platforms, because of the fact that you see a great property, oh, this house looks really nice. I'd love to live in a house like this. But the problem is, before you can even make an offer for this house, before you can even book a viewing for this house, you're talking to strangers. And I don't mean strangers like strangers to you. I mean people that are even strangers to the decision maker of the actual property. You've got to talk to Tracy. You've got to go through the little RightMove. Look, let me show you this. When you come on RightMove, right? Let's say I want to go and view this property, Morris Road, London, E14, okay? If I want to view this property, guess what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to hit this button right here, call agent. Or I'm going to have to hit this button right here, request details. Like, these are layers and layers and layers of stuff before I've even got to the decision maker, which I have to go through. Well, I don't have to go through, but most people go through. Okay, look at this. It says, is there a garden? Ask the agent. You're not even asking the person who has the garden. You're asking an agent. Are there accessibility aspects? Ask the agent. I want you guys to think about what this is saying. Okay, the me's are coming through. All right, the me's are coming through. Let's go. Life with Emilium says me. All right, and guys, please, whatever platform you're on, I hope I'm saying your names correctly. If I'm not saying your names correctly, just let me know. Share your name with me phonetically, just so I don't butcher anyone's name. And guys, I used to be a teacher, right? So I know my students used to hate it if I said their name wrong, and I used to make sure I didn't say any names wrong. So the internet's a slightly different place. But guys, let's go. All right. Eat Travel Family says me. Okay, so this is helpful. Good stuff. All right. So if this is helpful, let's keep going. So we're looking at this property. And in order to find out any information about this property, look at what it's saying. It's saying, ask the agent, ask the agent. Okay? Ask the agent, ask the agent. What does that prove to us? That proves to us something very interesting. It proves to us that there is the Chinese whispers potential, propensity, concept taking place straight away. Okay? Before I can speak to Tina, who we'd say in this example is the owner of the property, I first have to go through Tracy, who's an agent. Now, here's the thing that's interesting. Some of you have been through this situation. Some of you might be trying to buy your first property. And again, guys, you can let me know in the chat, all right? Amelia, thank you. I appreciate you, all right? And let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly as well, Amelia, all right? So guys, for some of us, we don't know this, right? Because maybe we're buying our first property, maybe we're just early in property. For some of us who've been doing this for like 20 years, you've been buying multiple properties, right? You are gonna know this. The worst part of this situation is if Tracy is a very bad agent. The worst part of this situation is if Tracy just started yesterday. The worst part of this situation is if Tracy has some level of cognitive bias. Samuel, what do you mean cognitive bias? What I mean is when you walk into the estate agency or when you call the estate agency and they ask you something like, what's your name? And you say your surname is Ikimwin. And they say, can you spell that for me? And you start spelling it and you spell more than 5 letters. And you start experiencing cognitive bias. Oh, someone's gonna catch this in a moment. Guys, look, can I be real? Because I kind of get a bit sick and tired of these people who show up and tell you, no, it's easy to do this, it's simple to do this, you just have to do this, but half of the people who tell you all of that stuff have no idea what it's like for you to do this. They have no idea that when you show up, people talk to you slightly different to how they talk to them. They have no idea that you've experienced most of your life, people smiling in your face, but then saying negative things about your race. Oh, if somebody's with me, let me know. Guys, I would like to just keep it real, if that's okay, all right? Because when my clients work with me and they say, Samuel, you know what? The stuff you teach just works. They think it just works because I'm a genius. No, it just works because I've been where you are. And I've realized all of the stuff that works for other people that doesn't work for me. And I've realized, well, hold on a minute. Maybe it's not working for me because of this and because of this and because of this, because of these differences. So guess what I do? I actually overcome the differences. And then we don't have any more challenges with those differences. But let's get back into this. Let's get back into this. Let's get back into this before I take you too far. Let's go. So the first thing is whispers, okay? Now, a good question would be, Samuel, what's the real issue with the whispers? I'm here to tell you. The real issue with the whispers is the fact that there are too many members. There are too many members in between you and the decision maker. This is one of the biggest reasons why most of the times when you're looking on platforms like RightMove, you aren't gonna find great deals. If you're trying to buy your first property, if you're trying to buy another property, if you're trying to buy a 10th or 12th property, doesn't make a difference. The reason why people struggle, and guys, this is a brand new year. I don't want you to struggle this year attempting to buy your first house or attempting to buy your next house or attempting to start actually investing. You see, most of my clients, I'm just going to be very transparent with you. Most of my clients, before they work with me, they've already bought properties and they've already got quote unquote burned. They've already realized, oh, this thing doesn't work. But it's not this thing doesn't work. It doesn't work if you don't know how it works. So you have to discover how it works. And like I just showed you, RightMove, the biggest UK platform in the UK, the biggest UK property portal in the UK is shadowing and following Amazon. Why am I showing you that? Because success leaves clues. And if you're going into this brand new year thinking you're going to figure it all out on your own, I'm here to tell you something. Look. It don't work like that. Not even for RightMove. Not even for Bezos. Not even for Tesla. Like, what makes you different? What makes you exempt? What makes you think you're going to figure it out all on your own? When the people who have 10, 12, 100, 1,000, million times more than you don't do that. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Don't tell me our parents invested all that time to leave a country, to come to another country, to try and set you up with education and all of the things they sacrificed for you to just come here and think you're going to figure it out on your own. Oh, Lord. Someone tell me something in the comments. Someone tell me something. I don't know. Is Samuel ranting too much today? I don't know. This is one of the joys of having 6 children, man. You know, you just go into father mode sometimes, and you're just trying to be people's dad when they just want to help to make money, and you just out here trying to help them with their whole life. Let's go. Let's see what you're saying in TikTok. Let's go. Henry's in the house. Henry says, Happy New Year, brother. Thank you, Henry. Appreciate you. Let's go. Oh, wow. I didn't even see the TikTok chat was blowing up. because I was in the website, all right? Henry sends a rose. We appreciate the rose. Let's go, let's go. There's a comment in here. The comment says, JD says, do you want to book a viewing? I love that. I love that. JD's absolutely correct, all right? So these are some of the issues that you have when you are using these platforms and these portals. So if you're looking for your next property, if you're looking to buy your first property, if you're someone who's been renting for years and you're saying, no, it's that time, now I'm gonna buy a house. Or if you're someone who's been investing for years and you're saying, no, it's that time, I'm gonna actually buy a deal that actually makes sense, that actually stacks up. I'm here to tell you how it works. It's very simple. The first thing is stop relying on these major platforms. The major platforms are not created for you. They're not created to help people like you. What do you mean, Samuel? They're not created to help people like me. You are someone who wants to move further, faster in your future with your finances. I know why, because I used to be like you. You are someone who's working full-time, part-time, overtime, undertime. You are, like, guys, look, I can tell you your story because your story used to be my story. In 2015, I was doing the same stuff, catching the bus to get to work, getting to work, starting early, and asking myself, am I going to have to spend my whole summer planning lessons? Yes, because that's what teachers do. You don't get off the hook because it's summer holiday. No, you get to work more and the whole world thinks you're on holiday. Oh, if somebody knows what I'm talking about, just write in the comments, I do. But this is the reality, ladies and gentlemen. This is the reality. This is the reality I saw. I don't know if your reality is different. It's cool. It's cool. But I'm just telling you the reality I've experienced. So when I engage with these massive platforms, I ask myself, how am I going to get value out of using this platform? And then I start discovering things that are actually the reasons why most people struggle on these platforms. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret because most of what I'm sharing, you're hearing my interpretation of it. But I want you to understand why I was able to learn all of this, okay? I was able to learn all of this because of one verse in the Bible, okay? Bible? Samuel? What's that got to do with property? Everything, okay? Go study the Bible and you'll see. Go study the end of Proverbs 24 and you will see everything. And there's a verse I found in the Bible which said something very profound. It was Jesus who said it. And this is not a biblical interpretation. This is just a business application. But what Jesus said, he said, wide is the road that leads to destruction, and many there are that are on that road. But narrow is the road that leads to life and godliness, and few there are that be on that road. Now, here's something that's interesting. Like I said, this is not the interpretation, this is just an application, right? If you ask yourself financially, are more people doing financially well and winning, or are less people doing financially well and winning in the world? Okay. Someone told me in the chat, more or less. Let's go. More or less. You guys let me know. All right. Are there more people doing well in the world financially, or less people doing well in the world financially? Okay. And guys, here's the thing that's interesting, right? This same concept I'm asking you, we can extrapolate this concept into anything. The only reason I use money and wealth is because it's easy to measure. Why? Because it's a number. 100 million made in a year is 100 million made in a year. You can't mistake that for £1 made in a year. Okay, that's the only reason I use money and wealth. It's easy to quantify, right? But let's ask this question. Are there more or less people in the world that are financially doing well? Okay, now, here's the thing. Instagram, okay, and I'm not saying this because we're streaming on Instagram, I'm just saying this because it's the truth. Platforms like Instagram would make some people believe that it's more people, right? But in reality, statistically, and I know this because I studied multiple statistics degrees, statistically, you will find that the answer is less. Now, why is this important? I'm going to tell you why it's important. Because the principle that Jesus shared, wide is the road that leads to destruction, and many there be upon that road, but narrow is the path that leads to godliness and life, and few there be upon that road, is exemplified in every area and cadre of life. Samuel, what are you saying? This is what I'm saying. If you want to have a successful marriage, you can't follow the masses. This is what I'm saying. If you want to have success with money, you can't follow the masses. This is what I'm saying. If you want to have success in your health, you can't follow the masses. If this is helping someone, just write in the comments the words me. You see, I want you to understand how this works. Jesus gave us the cheat code. He gave us many cheat codes, but this is just one of them. And it's not about over spiritualizing it and not recognizing how it applies in your natural physical life. Samuel, how does this apply in my natural physical life? You are on the wide road leading you to destruction. And guess what? There's many friends you can find on that road. Many there be upon that road. You see, the reason why a platform like RightMove can't serve you to find great property deals is because firstly, most people don't have great property deals. And secondly, the platform is created for the masses. Someone write in the chat the word masses. The platform is created for the masses. It's not created for the minority. It's created for the majority. Oh, I'm teaching myself right now. Let's go. So the first issue that you're going to find as it pertains to these things I'm showing you is that there are whispers. There's too many members. Look at what I just illustrated to you guys. There are too many members. For you to do a deal, you've got to go through this portal of RightMove. Then from RightMove, you've got to get to Tracy. Then from Tracy, she's got to send an email. Then when she sends an email, hopefully it gets to Tina, and then Tina responds. And guys, I'm even giving you an example where it's actually a small, close-knit set of whispers. Not to mention the reality. The reality is when you actually do get to Tracy, Tracy now has to go speak to her manager. And she has to find out from her manager, because she's new, whether she's actually able to email Tina with your newest request, or whether there's some information we already have. Samuel, how do you know that? Because when I was 19, I worked as an estate agent. I know exactly how it works. Now, let's go a bit deeper. First thing is the whispers. Now, the issue with the whispers is there are too many members. Now, let's go into the second thing, right? The second thing is because of the whispers, your message has the wrong weighting. Samuel, what do you mean my message has the wrong weighting? I'm so glad you asked, okay? You see, if you are someone who is asking Tracy to ask Tina if Tina will accept your offer at, let's go back to this example, right? So you guys can see this. Let's say we found this property on RightMove. Okay, Morris Road, London, E14. Let's say this property is 1.1 million pounds, and let's say we like it. We're looking at the property, we're saying, hey, we like this kind of modern Art Deco style apartment, right? We'd love to live in the E14 location, in the area. This is great, man, this is great, right? So let's say this is really making us, it's appealing to us. It's making us feel like this is where we want to be. Look at that, you're right by the canal. Okay, you got the water, okay, for my American family, or the water for my British family, or the water for my East London family, all right? So you got all of this stuff happening here, which makes you feel like this is a beautiful apartment. This is the kind of apartment I want, right? So let's say you like this, okay? Now, mind you, I've just shared with you that this is on the market for 1.1 million pounds. So let's say you say, okay, I'm going to call the agent, and when I call the agent, I get through to Tracy, okay? And let's say I get through to Tracy, and when I get through to Tracy, who's the agent, I say to Tracy, hey Tracy, I'd like to put in an offer for this property, okay? And the offer I'd like to put in for this property, let's say the offer is 1 million pounds, okay? I want to get £100,000 quote unquote perceived discount, right? Or whatever, right? Let's say I'm going to put in an offer for 1 million pounds, okay? Now, and let's say this is why I'm doing it. I scroll down and I see here, a 3-bedroom house, okay? Hopefully you guys can see this. This is hilarious. A 3-bedroom terraced house with 2 bathrooms sold for 1.25 million in the local area, okay? So Tracy, I don't want to pay 1.1 million because I could get a whole 3-bedroom house with 2 bathrooms in a similar area. So Tracy, I'm going to put my offer in for 1 million, okay? All right, if you guys are with me, you're getting what I'm saying just right. I'm getting it, okay? So I know you guys are getting it. Now, let's say you put that offer in. Here's what's going to happen, okay? Let's go back to my illustration because that's the best way to show this. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to make that offer to Tracy for 1 million pounds. Tracy is then going to evaluate what she thinks about that offer, right? And yes, you know, if you're an estate agent and you're tuned into this, you're going to say, oh no, I'm not going to think about the offer. Well, you have to think about the offer because you've got a brain. That's what we do. We think as human beings. We naturally think, like whether we like it or not, okay? And sometimes we think things we shouldn't be thinking, but it is what it is. This is what we do as humans, right? So Tracy's going to think about the offer. After she thinks about the offer, she's going to have to go through her channels. And what happens is she goes through her channels with her thinking. Even if, sorry guys, this is not to insult Tracy, this is just to keep it real. Even if her thinking is unfortunately stinking thinking, okay? That's what she's gonna do. She is going to take her thinking into the next part of the process. Why? Because that's what we do as human beings, okay? Now, statistically, because I study statistics, this is just called bias, okay? Some people call it cognitive bias, but it's just bias. Like every human being has a bias. So if you have 3 people who all offer £1 million for this property, Tracy is going to naturally have a bias, okay? The question is, how do you manage Tracy's bias as an investor, okay? These are some of the things I teach my coaching clients, okay? Because the bias is going to be there. The only person who thinks the bias is not there is the person who's going to be negatively impacted by the bias. Because they're not aware of reality. Reality is there is a bias. Why is there a bias? Because you're talking to a human being and we are biased individuals. We all are. I'm biased, okay? I'm biased, okay? Like, guys, is it okay if I'm this transparent, okay? Someone throw the yes in the chat if it's okay. If it's not okay, just throw the no in the chat. But I want you guys to understand that human psychology, how we operate as human beings, if we're not aware of this, okay? JD throws the heart in the chat. So she's saying, yes, Samuel, you like speak the truth. Like, guys, if we don't realize that as human beings, we operate a certain way, guess what's gonna happen? We're going to think other people don't operate the same way. And if we think other people don't operate the same way, guess what's gonna happen? We're going to do things that do not favor us, thinking they favor us, just because we're not being aware of reality. Reality is we're human beings. When information comes into our mind, guess what we do? We evaluate it. We evaluate it. Whether we like it or not, we do this subconsciously and consciously. And guess what happens after we evaluate? From every input becomes an output from the function machine in our mind. So like I said, if Tracy has stinking thinking, that's the function machine she's got. That's the equation she's applying to the information that came in. So if the information that came in was an offer of £1 million and your name was a long name which was hard to spell, for example, or whatever other bias that may be occurring, oh, you spoke slow, or you spoke fast, or you didn't pronounce your T's, or whatever it may be, that equation is going to deal with that £1 million offer and then spit out an output. And that output might be, she doesn't make the offer with vim. She doesn't make the offer with tenacity. She doesn't make the offer with energy. She doesn't make the offer as though it's the kind of offer that should be received and accepted. And that can have a negative impact on you. That could be the reason why you've made offers on 3, 4, 5 properties and you've never got an offer accepted. Not because of the number. The numbers, guys, the number 9 times out of 10 is the smallest variable in the equation. The number is not as important as the notion. The number is not as important as the emotion. And for those of you who don't know, emotion is just energy in motion. So it's the emotion, it's the energy that moves with the motion that is going to determine your notion. That's going to determine yes or no, what you hear from the flow. Let's go deeper. So we get an offer put in. Let's say in the case of this example, that offer is £1 million. Tracy now cognitively processes this, comes up in her mind with a yes, no, maybe so, all right? Let's go. JD says energy in motion. All right, let's go. So you put in your offer, £1 million. Tracy now evaluates that offer with her mindset, okay, her skill set, her tool set. And from there, she then proceeds to follow her channels. Let's say her channel is she checks in with her manager. After checking with her manager, she now makes an offer via email to Tina. Okay, let's just say that's the process, right? Now, here's the problem. The first problem was the whispers, okay? That was A, the whispers. The second problem here is the waiting, okay? The weight placed on your offer changes instantly the moment your offer is being delivered by someone else. Okay, I'm going to say that again in case you need to pick up your pen. The weight of your offer changes instantly the moment that offer is being made by somebody else. Okay, now why does the weight change? I'm going to tell you why the weight changed. Because the person sending the message isn't you. They're not sending it with the same characteristics, with the same heart, with the same mindset, tool set, skill set that you have, for example. Okay, they're going to alter the message. Okay, they're going to alter the message in some way, shape, or form. This is something to think about. Now, I'm going to share something with you, okay? Just so you understand this. What happens when you send your message is the weight is changed because your message in the mind of an estate agent is often minimized. Okay, Samuel, what do you mean my message is minimized, right? The reason your message is minimized is because that estate agent might be making 7, 8, 9, 10 offers that day to 7, 8, 9, 10 different people on behalf of 7, 8, 9, 10 different other people. And if those 7, 8, 9, 10 different other people have, here's a key word for all of you guys, more rapport with the agent than you do, if that 7, 8, 9, 10 other people have more connection, relationship, okay, with that agent than you do, all of these things are going to affect how your message is literally relayed. This is why the weighting of your offer, this is why the weighting of your message is minimized. Okay? Guys, someone tell me in the chat if this is helpful. Because I want you to see exactly why there are people out there. I see the likes blowing up in the chat. I want you to see exactly why many people out there in the world can be making offers on properties and not getting the results they're expecting to get, and be wondering to themselves, why am I not getting the results I'm expecting to get? Why are things not going the way I expect them to be? How comes people aren't helping me? How comes, etc., etc., etc. This is the reason why. This is the reason why. It's not rocket science. It's just simple. There's cognitive bias. There's people evaluating in ways that you're not thinking about. There's human psychology, the nature of humanity taking place. And all of these things come into the boiling pot. And when you mix all of these things up together, guess what happens? Things change. And they stop acting and looking the way you thought they were going to act or look. And they start acting and looking the way that they actually really are in reality. Someone let me know if this is helpful. All right? Now, for those of you who are joining us on the social media network streams, okay, if this is helpful for you, I just want you to either follow, subscribe, like, share, do something that the platform allows you to do. Okay? Right? That's your declaration that, oh, Samuel, that was helpful for me. I needed that. Okay? Because I want to know that this is actually helpful for you guys so that I'm not just adding value to the camera. Okay? Let's say it that way. All right, let's go deeper because there's one more that I want you guys to have. All right? And if there's anyone who wants to be bold and just throw in the chat, Samuel, this is helping me, you can do that as well. So I know this is helping you. All right, let's go deeper. All right. I just got a rose in the live chat in TikTok. And TikTok, guys, we're nearly at 5,000 likes. Let's do the thing. Let's get it there. Let's go. All right. Now, with all of that being said, let's do this. Let's jump into the third reason why you struggle to find deals on platforms like RightMove. Okay. So the first reason I shared with you is due to whispers, okay? Whispers, that's the conceptual idea, whispers. What's basically taking place is you have Chinese whispers going on with your property deals. And those whispers basically mean that the message that you want to pass, the offer you want to pass, has too many members between you and between the actual offer. Has too many members between you and what's actually going through. The second thing I said was the weighting of your message, the weight of your message. So if you had an offer like £1 million, well, that offer is not going to be perceived the same way it's perceived to you because that message has to first go through someone else, okay? Let's get into the third part. The third part, we need the right tool. The third part is the weight, okay? The weight, Samuel, what do you mean the weight, okay? We did the weight. Sorry, there we go. That's what happens when you think too fast. The third part is the width. Okay. Sammy, what do you mean the width? So glad you asked. The width of the market. The width of the market, the size of the market. You see, when you go on RightMove, you're dealing with a mass market environment. You're dealing with an environment that was made for masses. It's not made for individuals. It's not made for people that know what they're doing. It's made for everyone. Okay? It's like Amazon. Like if you want to buy something, the easiest, simplest place to go is probably a place like Amazon, a global mass marketplace. Okay? But if you want to buy something that's a specialist thing, you're not going to find that on Amazon. If you want to find something that's extremely expensive, you're not going to find that on Amazon. If you want to like, guys, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Mass markets are not created for certain members of society. And if your goal is to become a certain member of society, or if your goal is to stay a certain member of society, you aren't going to achieve that by finding things in the mass market. Especially not the things that are going to separate you from the mass market. And a great property deal is one of those things. So the first reason why you have been struggling to find great property deals on platforms like RightMove is simply because of the Chinese whispers effect. Because of the fact that you are going to a place where there are too many members between you and the decision maker. The second reason is because of the weighting of your message. So you might make an offer, but by the time that offer gets to the actual decision maker, it's not the same offer. It's not being made with the same energy. It's not being made with the same vim. And these things have an impact. And the third reason why is because of the width of the market. Because you're dealing with a wide market. You're dealing with a mainstream market instead of realizing, hey, I'm not looking for mainstream results, so I can't do mainstream things. And the moment you figure out that you no longer want to be operating with mass market methodologies, I'm here to tell you something, everything will change for you. So they're the three reasons why you've been struggling to find great property deals on platforms like RightMove. I'm going to open it up, guys, to take a question or two. Let's see what questions you guys have. If you've got a question, feel free to throw it in the chat. If there was something that stood out to you extremely today, if you're like, Samuel, you know what, that thing you shared really stood out to me, feel free to share that in the chat as your key takeaway. All right, and we'll take a question or two, and we'll also really quickly have your key takeaways in. Let's go, guys. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. And we also have some property. Let's go. All right, so I'm going to look in the chat right now to see what comments you guys might have, what questions you guys might have about what we've been sharing. If you got a question, just to make it a bit simple for me, just start your question with the letter Q, full stop, and then throw your question in. If you're sharing a key takeaway, feel free to show a K dot for a key takeaway and then share your key takeaway. And if you just got a comment, feel free to just let it rip, all right? Just feel free to throw your comments in and we'll share them as well, all right? Let's see what questions you guys have. If you have any, I'll put a timer up just so we can stay succinct and to time. There we go. Just for a question or two. Let's get with the 1 minute. Let's go. All right, guys. So let's go. What questions do you guys have? Throw them in the chat. We have a 1 minute timer up. For those of you on TikTok, you won't be able to see the timer. I do apologize. But guys, if you have any questions, send them in for me. Let me take those questions real quick before we wrap up today's live. And guys, like I said, if you got value from anything in this live, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever you can do on the platform you're on. All right. Like guys, in the past, I've asked people to come to this platform, to this, and the guys, whatever platform you're on is the platform I'm on. Let's go. All right. So let's stay platform centric and just throw in our key takeaways, questions or comments. We've got like less than 30 seconds left. That is property. All right, let's go. Let's go, let's go. And if there are no questions, we will be wrapping up for today's live. All right. And for those of you who got a key takeaway, throw your key takeaway in the chat as well. All right, there we go. All right, timer's up, but we got a question in from JD. I think JD is the person who threw the question in. So let me check this real quick. There you go. JD's question is, I like that. I like that. I like that. JD says, Samuel, are you offering a solution? Yes, the answer is 100% yes. Here's my question to you, JD. Do you want the quick solution, which will help? Or do you want the detailed solution, which will really, really help? Okay, so quick solution, which will help, or detailed solution, which will really, really help. So let me know, JD, and then I'll answer your question from there, okay? But guys, JD asked a great question. Samuel, are you offering a solution? Yes, 100%. Always solution-oriented. So yes. All right, so guys, let me know. JD can let me know as well, and then we'll go from there. All right, so JD, do you want the, here we go. I love this. JD says, Samuel, don't leave us hanging. Don't leave us hanging, Samuel. All right, cool. So let me give you the quick solution. The quick solution, which is what I started doing in 2015, is called direct marketing. Okay, someone throw that in the comments. Direct marketing. Okay, someone throw that in the comments. Direct marketing. Okay, direct marketing. That's the quick solution. The quick solution is don't rely on estate agents. Why? I used to be one. I worked as an estate agent in my first full-time job at the age of 19 in 2004. And as I worked as an estate agent, I discovered very quickly estate agents are not set up for people who need help. They're not set up for people who need to solve problems in a short period of time. Some people call those people motivated sellers. Some people call those people a whole bunch of stuff. Let me tell you what I call those people. I call them people like how my mum used to be. Because my mum was in a situation very similar to what people are now calling motivated sellers. So I watched my mum as I was an 11-year-old. I watched my mum become redundant from her job and struggle to sell her house with speed. And I watched her go to estate agents with her house, which was fairly new, a new build, and ask the estate agent, help me sell my house. And I watched the estate agent, who I didn't know this at the time. I was a young pup, right? But when I became an estate agent, I started to see all of the patterns. I watched my mum ask an estate agent who gets paid based on commission, who's mainly target driven, to help her sell her house with speed. And when I turned 19 and I worked as an estate agent for the first time, full time, I realized, wow, this is why they didn't sell my mum's house with speed. Because you get a commission based on the sale, so you're primarily money motivated. You're not interested in my mum's motivation. You're not interested in the situation my mum's going through. You're not interested in her financial challenges, in her marital breakdown, in her mental well-being. Okay? And guys, I don't know. You tell me, is this too much information, or is this actually helpful for you? Because I could tell you what to do, but if I tell you why I started doing it, that will help you understand the importance of it to people like me. Okay? JD says, spot on. Let's go. Okay? So, as a young boy who was attending secondary school, I watched my mum basically be made redundant. Okay? She worked for 15 years for a bank in central London. One day, someone came in and said to her, your name's on the list. Your name's on the list basically meant in English, you won't have a job tomorrow morning. When I experienced that, when I witnessed that, my mum came home one day. She told me and my brothers she lost her job. And as a result, there was nothing I could do. I didn't know how to help her. Okay? So she started to attempt to sell her house with speed because she couldn't pay her mortgage anymore. As she attempted to sell her house with speed because she couldn't pay her mortgage anymore, she did what most people do. She went to an estate agent. The estate agent put her house on the market, and months and months and months and months and months passed. And I just kept asking myself, like, this house is fairly new. Like, why wouldn't it sell? How comes there's hardly any viewings, right? Fast forward to the age of 19, I got my first full-time job as an estate agent, and it just, like, the penny just dropped. It all just started to make sense. If I'm paid a commission for the sale of your house, guess what I want to do? I want to sell your house to the highest bidder. Okay, that's the first thing. If I'm paid a commission for the sale of your house, I don't care how quickly you want to sell your house. I care about how much money I can make. That's just the ethos of most estate agencies. Okay, now let's go deeper. Okay, let's go even deeper. What's the second side of this? The second side of this is targets. If I have a target this month to hit, to sell 4 properties, and I've hit my target, and you come along on the 13th of the month with a motivation to sell your house with speed, but I've already hit my target this month, then I'm incentivized to keep your house until the beginning of next month. Why? Because I don't need to hit a target this month. I need to hit a target next month. So these are the things I started to discover. Okay, these are the exact things I started to discover. Okay, I love that. All right, JD says, this is why I do what I do. JD, feel free to share in the chat further. Right, let's go. Now, I asked JD, do you want the simple solution which can help, or do you want the real solution that can really, really help? Okay. So the simple solution is direct marketing. Start marketing to human beings who need help directly. That's what you should do. That's what I'd encourage you to do. That's what I started doing in 2015. If you want the real solution that will really, really help, then go and get educated on how to move further faster in your future using direct marketing to actually assist people to get help, to escape the woes financially, to escape the drama in terms of maritally, to escape all of the things they may be going through. Okay, there are people that have gotten divorced. They don't want a judge to separate their assets. They want to separate their assets themselves. And guys, those of you on TikTok, we're 300 likes away from 5,000. Let's hit that 5,000 mark before we wrap up this live. Now, if you're joining me and you're interested in finding out more about how I can help you guys move further faster in the vein of what we're talking about, I'm going to encourage you to hit this link. I'm going to throw a link inside of the chat. Inside of TikTok, the link is in the chat for you guys to take advantage of that. I'm going to pin that comment for you guys to have that. And if you're joining me here on YouTube, I believe, okay, I'm going to throw up a QR code for you guys to utilize as well, okay? So this QR code is going to assist you in order to get invested, right? Get invested, invest in yourself, okay? Join one of our upcoming cash flow creation weeks and discover throughout those 5 days the science of cash flow creation, the strategies of cash flow creation, the skills of cash flow creation, the systems of cash flow creation, so that by day 5, I can show you exactly how you can personally have cash flow creation success. Okay, so JDR Samuel, what's the solution? Don't leave us hanging. Here is the solution. The simple solution is start to engage in direct marketing. And the real solution to help you move further faster is literally get yourself onto our upcoming cash flow creation week, where we can help you move further faster in your future. All right, take a screenshot, grab the QR code. If you're joining me on Instagram, I believe you are up here with the QR code. All right, and just scan that QR code and go check out, learn more, get more information, and see if it's something of value to you. If it is something of value to you, then don't be square, instead be there. All right, guys, with that being said, let's see if there's one more question, if there's any more questions. I think we had the timer up, so our time for the questions are done. All right. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to love you guys. I'm going to leave you guys. I'm going to let you guys move further, faster in your future. I pray you guys got tons of value. If you guys really, really value these lives, let me know, because we'll do more of these lives. We'll show up more. We'll add more value to you guys in order to help you guys move further, faster. I know a lot of the coaching that I do really, really helps my clients. So I'm sure that if we share a lot of those gems with you guys as a wider community, they can help you as well if you're buying your first house or if you're buying your next house, to assist you guys to move further faster in your future as well. So with that being said, guys, Samuel I Can Win, I'm signing out good day. God bless. I look forward to seeing you on another one. Take care. Let's go.